Parent information events are an important part of the school culture. You might call these parent education evenings or Montessori nights, whatever you're going to call them. They're an important part of helping parents learn more about Montessori education and about what their child is doing, since, a lot of parents did not go to Montessori school themselves. They're really important and valuable for the parent community and for the whole school community, but how do you get parents to come? And how do you keep them coming back? We have to meet parents where they are. Most parents are working. They have busy lives. So how can we make it appealing to come to another meeting? Often providing dinner and childcare will definitely increase your turnout. So that's something to really consider. Or is it useful to sometimes have some at 9 in the morning or 8:30? Parents can drop their kids off and go to an event and go into work a half an hour or an hour late. Sometimes that works for parents. So really think about your community, ask your community and offer a variety of opportunities for them to engage and come to a parent information evening or morning. So when we're thinking about these events, we really want to be able to provide information for parents to increase their knowledge of Montessori education and their child and their child's development. This is also an opportunity to build community with parents when we get them together and we're talking about a topic. And it's also an opportunity to inform prospective parents or other members of the public about Montessori. So we have a variety of things we can, offer to parents to further their knowledge and support them in raising their children. We've talked a bit about parent orientation evenings and how we have to balance the information about the systems with offering them something more. So it's really valuable to give them some strong parenting tips or talk about some of the major shifts they might see in their child's development as the child ages. It can be useful to role play some typical sort of problems or complaints children might have and offer parents opportunities to respond. How can we respond in a way that's supporting children's development? So think about that for that first orientation evening. That's really important to impress parents and get them excited about what these kinds of events can offer them. As you consider other sort of information events, kind of think as a staff through the whole year. How many events are we going to do? What sort of topics do we want to cover? It can be useful to do something about indirect preparation and have teachers from the Children's House talk about work they do and how it indirectly prepares for continued work we do in the elementary. You could tackle a theory topic. Freedom and discipline. Discipline gets parents all the time, and it's a great opportunity for us to share with them what Montessori meant by discipline, the idea of self-discipline, not external discipline imposed by the adult, but building within children the self-discipline they need to support their development. Parents love to get their hands on materials. So you could have a parent evening where they get to explore some of the materials, or you demonstrate some. So you could have it, sort of open where they can work with materials, or perhaps you have an evening where you show a series of different materials. There's any number of ways that you can connect parents to what we're doing in the classroom, and it's really important to be thoughtful about this with your whole school community, all levels, and particularly at your own level, at the elementary level. Another thing that can help parents and get them in to an information event is to relate it to some of the popular sort of parenting buzzwords, grit, resilience, growth mindset. Bring some of these current research topics in and show how Montessori has been doing that and continues to provide opportunity for those things for children. Relate it to current study on brain science and how what we do is supported by current neuroscience research. You can talk about outcomes, the real focus of what we're doing in this whole child development beyond just the academics, and how that's going to help children be ready for the world. As you're planning parent information events, make sure that you've got a presentation or an activity that lasts maybe about half the time, and that you leave about half the time for questions. Parents always have lots of questions they need answers to, and so make sure that you're leaving time for that, but give some clear parameters. We're not going to talk about confidential information about children in a public setting. In fact, we're going to keep most of our questions as general as possible. So maybe it's an issue you're having with your child that you're wondering if it's a developmental issue or there's other things, but we don't want to make it so specific that no one else in the group can relate. And you might prepare some questions ahead of time yourself that you bring in, saying, I've heard parents ask this, or I've heard parents ask that, when in fact it's just a question you want to address with parents that you think will serve them. So make sure you save some time for that, and for some, sort of general socialization and chatting at the end. But be clear about the start and end time and the sort of agenda and expectations throughout these meetings. They're a really important way to build your parent community, to build relationships, and to help parents have a better understanding of the work that's going on in the classroom. So be sure that you're planning as many parent nights as you think parents will attend. It's some extra work on the part of the staff and faculty, but well worth it in building a community culture of learning more and knowing about what's best going to support the children in our care.